So 2009 was your first Ashes test. It's famous for the fact that we all look at it still and go, how the freaking hell didn't Australia win that test match, Hads? You were involved. You were one of about, 4 century makers in a 6 for 674 declared, and England hang on.
Oh, at Cardiff.
At Cardiff. Hang on. Like Monty becomes Jeffrey Boycott.
Anderson got 20 not out.
He did. But Monty batted for about 12 overs.
Yeah.
So in that game, in the second innings, when we had to hang on to basically not lose, and the wicket was a pudding, wasn't it? It was so slow by then. There was no pace. And I remember batting, and we had a short leg, and you had a deep square, and Sid was bowling round the wicket. And I'd just been told, you're not allowed to hook, not allowed to hook. And I'm compulsive. And I'm a tail ender, so I don't know what else to do. And so I was basically, I might as well have been a punch bat. I was standing there and just being thudded. And every time I got hit, they said, you have to get the physio on and waste as much time as you can. And one of them hit me, and it barely tickled me. I mean, it was... And I remember looking around, and Mike Hussey was there, who was my mate, and he went, don't do it, mate. And I went, physio. And Punt was, I thought he was going to kill someone. And our physio that day was an Aussie guy called Steve McCarg, and his hero, his all-time hero was Ricky Ponting. And right near the end of play, like Jimmy tripped over, whatever, got physio, and it was embarrassing by this stage. I mean, it was blatant sandpaper cheating stuff by this. It was like running the guy out when he's not trying to run. It was awful.
Mate, I remember that physio. He stood there, the player was over, and he's just like that. He wasn't looking at the England players, just standing at Ponting, and Ponting's giving him all barrels. But he also said at the end, he said, do you know you have to bowl fucking 16 overs in the last hour no matter what? And he said, you can fucking leave now. And he said, yes, Rick. Poor bastard ran off. I'm so sorry for him.
After the game, so we're in the change room, and Andy was like, don't celebrate. You must not celebrate. We were behind closed doors. We were going, yes! And everyone was happy and having a beer, and looked round. Steve McCarg sat in the corner, ghostly white, staring at the fog. That guy's my fucking hero.
He didn't miss him.
Can you remember that?
Mate, I remember it. He didn't go to anyone. He was too scared to take the extra step. And we sort of, as I said before, you have to bowl 16 overs in the last hour, no matter what. So he's running on and off, and Punter, he just went, and Punter was the one that told him, you can leave now. He just nodded and said, yes, Rick, and he just walked off. But it was
broken.
Mate, Monty lasted.
Were you losing your minds out there with that last hour?
Yeah.
It was one of those, though, that Horace was bowling. Horace is a good bowler, I thought, but he was turning it too much almost. So his arm ball would even grip and turn a bit. And Monty and Jimmy couldn't get back on it if it was spinning. And he just couldn't hit the stumps.
No.
So, and as a spinner, I've been in that situation sometimes. You've got to be very clever or very skilled to be able to not make the ball move off the straight. Yeah. And it moved every ball, and they kept missing it.
So you guys are punching the air in the Cardiff dressing rooms. You guys have dominated the game, like a morgue in there, or was it pretty frustrating? Was Ricky throwing things around the dressing room?
Oh, we were frustrated. Yeah, mate. When Anderson and Panesar bat for that long, and it was probably one of the moments where emotions got the better of us and took a lot of energy out of us leading into the series. It was probably a win for England. They were so far behind in the game, and to get out of that with a draw, and you know how important that first test is. But he was. I feel sorry for that physio.
Steve McCarthy. If you're there, Steve. He came when I had my last operation that didn't work. He was the physio who came out with me. And apparently, when I woke up, I was so off into space with the drugs they give you in America when you have these operations. Apparently, I was just laughing at him going, what the fuck are you doing here, mate? I was doing my Ricky Bunny. What the fuck are you doing out now?
Not again.
Yeah.
Hey, later in that series, the Oval, Stuart Broad went on a tear. Got here the spell of 12 overs in a game that ended in an English victory by nearly 200 runs. 12 overs, one maiden, 5 for 37, included the wickets of Watson, Hussey, Clark, and one Bradley Haddin.
Not just Bradley Haddin, a beauty to bowl.
Oh, he could talk us through
Mate,
it.
I couldn't feel my hand. I'd a broken finger. Oh, okay. He was like Anderson. Obviously, has finished his career as the great of the game. Mate, the hardest I used to find was Broad, but Broad would go through moments, and you could see me. He'd do his jump at the top of his mark, do a couple, then you do 4, and you think, oh no, that's one of these spells. And it was as good as you face anywhere in the world. He was one of the best at picking moments and when to turn it on and when just to go through the motion.
So he was a big-time player. I always said the best thing you could ever do with Broadie is saying you're being dropped. Yeah. This is your last chance, last game ever. Because whenever he got to that stage, and players go through that, and the press, the vultures are circling, he would get 5 wickets without a doubt and bowl like a dream. The time he got 8 for 17 on that damp morning in Trent Bridge, that was when Jimmy wasn't playing. So Broadie was suddenly leading the attack for the first time. And I knew he was going to get wickets that morning. It was almost exactly. He did the 4 big jumps and the knee started pumping. And I've never met anyone more inclined to put his trainers on or his flats on when you're in India, second innings. He goes, well, I'm not fucking bowling. It's all you, mate.
He recognised moments so good.
Yeah. He was really good.
What was he like as a teammate around the group, and especially moments like this when things are going really well?
Yeah, I'm very quiet, Broadie is. I mean, he came across as really petulant when he bowled and like sort of big and tried to be nasty, but he's so public school and like, hi, how's it going? Umpire, please, could you hold my jumper for me? And so he wasn't intimidating in any way, although he tried to be, which we all found brilliant and hilarious. But off the field, I've always got on very well with Broadie because he's a piss taker. And when he scored 100, Broadie got 170 in a test match. Put it that way, against Pakistan. Yeah. In the same game, I got 5 for at Lords. So his first 100 at Lords, or first 100 in all cricket, I think, and my first 5 for... As an Englishman, you want a 5 for at Lords because you get your name on the board in the change room. And that's like the history of English cricket. And it was, I'm not saying this is why we got 5 for and 100, but 4 of the Pakistanis went to prison for match fixing just after that test match.
But, you know what? Broadie should lose that 100.
Well, that's what he said. So we were sat in the change room afterwards, and Giles Clarke, the head of English cricket, the most pompous human being on earth, goes, oh, this is a disgrace. This game should be scrapped from the annals of Test history. And Broadie just leaned over to me and they're not going to take our names off the board, are they?
Ads, what was it like at the end of that series? Because this felt like a period of Australian cricket where there was a lot of changes, chopping and changing, because they're looking for solutions. And it was before, the Lyon, Hazelwood, Stark, Cummins era began. So it was in that little period. What was it like after that series, 09? Did you feel
the Argus review?
The Argus review. But how close did you feel, actually, given what happened in the first test in Cardiff? Did you feel like you'd been heavily defeated, or was there the inklings of better things to come?
Well, there was no other way in an Ashes campaign. And we spoke about it before. I remember Haydos saying, he said, yes, you'll play all Test cricket and they're all equal, but you'll be judged on how well you play in an Ashes campaign.
Yeah.
And if you win, lose or draw, and we were on the losing end, you knew something was about to happen. You knew heads were about to roll. At the end of that, Clark took over the captaincy. It's held in such high regard. So you know if you don't aim up in that campaign, when you get back home, there's going to be a review. Someone's going to have to be accountable. And it was actually that black and white. If you win, things are going well. Yeah. If not, there's a review and your head's on the chopping block.
And it's the same in both countries. So that one at 2009, that was the closest Ashes. Yeah. That was the only one that I thought all the way could have gone either way. 2010 in Australia, after the first test that we managed to draw, there was only one winner there. 2013 at home, we were by far the better team. Yeah. And then 2013 in Australia, we came third. Well, we came fifth in the horse race. If it was a horse race, we'd have been put down, basically.
Green screen. Yeah, thanks for watching the Willow Talk podcast on YouTube. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button so you don't have to miss an episode wherever you are. And while you're at it, check out these videos up here. They're mostly good.